All right, welcome to the Urban Pitch Podcast, the beautiful game of life. Today we have a very special guest in the building, as they like to say in some of those podcasts, but we have LA Galaxy defender, Daniel Steres. Did I pronounce your last name right?
Perfect. Daniel Steres, got it.
All right. And obviously we also have Greg, our resident baller, coach, do it all, everything, you know. And you guys grew up together though, right?
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
Went to the same high school, I think, right? Yeah.
Calabasas.
Yeah, he's a little bit older though, right?
2 years.
2 years older. And then you guys had a little bit of overlap on the team or no?
Yeah, a couple years, right?
So when I was a freshman, I played with his younger brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was a junior at the time, playing for Dan Metcalf, right?
I was with
DMS
Metcalf,
11.
Yeah. Okay. But you guys didn't play varsity together at high school?
No.
Okay.
I was JV.
Okay, so you're JV. When did you make varsity then? Yeah.
No,
sophomore or junior?
We were good that year, though, so it's all good.
Okay.
They balled up.
They balled up? All
They
right.
balled up.
So then, what was the high school again?
Calabasas.
Calabasas High School. Was it like a pretty competitive?
At the time, yeah, it was before academy and all that, so it was pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
It was fun. Let's go with that.
You know, I'm kind of curious. So then, how was? I'll ask Greg. So how was he in high school? Was he like?
Super baller.
He was a baller. Was he like a stud? Or
yeah.
What? Yeah. Were you like? Okay. Were you a big man on campus in high school or what?
I mean, soccer wasn't.
It wasn't
that
like,
big of a thing, but yeah, I mean, our football team was terrible, so soccer got pretty popular. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was definitely like a role model.
Uh-huh.
But like, you know, when you're a kid and you're growing up looking at, you know, older guys and you're like, wow, man, I want to be a baller like him.
Right.
So you kind of remember these little small memories, right? So you were able to do a backflip just standing up.
Yeah. Actually, I used to, for sure.
So he's just like walking on campus and you would just be able to do a backflip, you mean?
No, I just decided to do it for like a celebration.
Oh,
like a goal
celebration after a goal. Okay.
Yeah.
But then, were you a defender in high school too, or no?
I was a defender like with club,
Okay.
but I was playing center mid in high school.
Center mid in high school?
Yeah.
Got it. I feel like, you know, the 80s, I think I would have been more popular in the 80s because I feel like nowadays you get, like, there's a more of an appreciation for, like, well-rounded guys. Like, you could be, you know what I mean? Like, back in the 80s, it was like you had to fit into like 4 or 5 stereotypes. You know, it's like, no, which one are you? Are you a jock or a nerd? Like, you can't be smart and play sports. You know what I mean?
Breakfast club sort
Exactly.
of thing.
It was straight up like Breakfast Club. Roy knows what he's talking about. Right? He fit into the Asian nerd category like I did. You know, even though like doesn't matter if you play varsity soccer, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, you're not allowed. All right. So high school was cool. Tell us how you got into pro soccer then.
I mean, it took a while. It was an interesting path for me, but I decided to go to San Diego State for college. Got recruited there and kind of wanted to just stay in California unless it was one of like the big time schools out there. But I was happy I went there. Had a really good time.
When you say that, all right? Because I know San Diego area, right? So
yeah,
like,
I mean, San Diego's awesome.
Yeah. How was it the soccer program that got you, or was it? Because I know there's some crazy party scene there too. There's a lot of hot girls and all that. The beach scene.
I mean, it was
that part of it? That was like 90% of the reason.
It was both. You know, it was everything. No, it was cool though. So I'm a California kid. I wanted to stay out here. I love the beaches. Love San Diego. There wasn't like a college town necessarily, but you just have all of San Diego to make yours. But yeah, I mean, there's good times off the field. Yeah. But the team was good. I liked the staff that they had when I got recruited, and they were kind of on the cusp. They're in the Pac-12, so they were always like on the cusp of cracking into the tournament or like making themselves into a big time team. So trying to be a part of that was something that was intriguing to me.
Were you pretty like disciplined in college?
Yeah. I mean, I was
like you had a certain kind of goal where you're going, or were you just kind of like, hey? Because I know a lot of guys that played sports in college, and you know, you're a college student. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So. I mean, I knew I wanted to do both. Education was an important thing in my family as well, but yeah. I mean, I had my sights set on playing and doing well in college, and then making it further than that.
And then taking it and then seeing how it would go?
Yeah, I didn't know if it was going to be possible. I just knew based on club, we had like the #1 team in the nation. We were good, so I was like, okay, I got a chance here. Let's try to see what happens, and just kind of took it from there.
Okay, so then how'd you guys do in college, and then what was it after that? What was the next step?
So college, I mean, I had 4 years. I started and played most of the time, which was another factor in why I went there. Yeah. We never made the tournament, unfortunately. We were always right on the edge, but we had some really good teams. I played with some good players. And then just going into my senior year, I'd gotten some recognition and had my name out there, and was just hoping to get drafted.
So what position were you playing in your senior year?
Center back.
Center back,
Yeah.
okay.
But you were scoring a lot of goals, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I dabbled
in
a
college?
little bit.
Okay, so like on corner kicks or what was going on?
Mostly corners,
Okay.
yeah.
Because if you're a center back, you can't be really making runs, right, from back there? Not really,
Not
right?
usually. I mean, I
Sergio
played a little bit
Ramos.
of D-mid
I
and
mean,
stuff.
you get in trouble,
but
right? Okay, so you played some D-mid too?
A little bit,
Little
but
bit.
it was mostly just scoring on corners and stuff
Okay,
like that.
so
free
corner,
kicks.
okay,
Yeah.
corner kicks and free kicks. You're taking free kicks, or you're the one that's
No,
like going for
just
headers?
headers and
Okay,
stuff
and
like that.
and then did you ever do a backflip though in college or no?
So I stopped in high school. Yeah,
What
I
do you
don't
mean?
know. That was just the end of it.
That was it. So you just did in high school though? Okay, so then are you practicing this? Because you can't do it in a game, and then
That's
land on your
probably
head
why
and
I
land on
don't
your
do
neck.
it now, because I
Okay.
haven't practiced in forever. And I don't,
So before you
I
did
don't
in
wanna
high
do
school
that.
though, you were like at least you knew you're pretty confident, right?
Yeah, I learned I could do a backflip in high school, so I just did it.
What is that, gymnastics degree? Like a background?
No,
or what
like
is
the
that? Yeah.
cheerleaders were out in the quad just doing
Okay.
like backflips on those like pads.
Okay.
And so we just wanted to see if we could do it. So we
So you
just
just
tried
did it with them?
And it was
Okay.
not that difficult, actually. But I don't know if I can do it now. So.
All right, so you haven't done it since, right?
I don't know,
Okay.
yeah.
Wait, going back to high school, then, were you, were you in the jock, crowd scene, or what? Were you like prom king or anything like that, or?
Not prom king, no.
Okay.
We had a pretty inclusive group in my grade, at least. Like, there might have been their little factions and stuff,
Yeah.
but I just hung out with some kids that were pretty cool dudes,
Yeah.
and
Were you-
kind of
was
got
it- yeah.
along with everyone.
everyone?
It wasn't like just okay,
It
we're gonna stay on our
It
side.
wasn't like a soccer clique kind of hanging out together.
It ended up being like we all played soccer
So everyone
together,
did
which
play
was
soccer.
fun.
Okay.
But
Did you let any of the JV guys hang out with you, or no?
yeah, we would have let anyone. I mean, my brother, everyone was hanging with
Okay,
us. So
okay.
it's
Were
all
you
good.
hanging with them too, or no, in high school?
No, I wasn't cool.
No,
enough.
you weren't
Came out to something probably. Yeah.
Okay, so there wasn't none of that, like, were you getting hazed or beaten up on the younger guys?
Nah.
I'm talking about my own high school experience.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
you got
saying?
something going on,
I
man.
got my own,
you're old school. You're-
breakfast club scene going on. You guys didn't have that over there?
No, I was
Nah, we
mellow.
just
No?
like to have a good time and
Okay,
all that.
all right. Okay, so then after college, then you were in USL?
So I did get drafted out
Okay.
of college actually to
Okay.
to Chivas.
Okay.
So when they're still around,
Man, that's full circle, huh?
it's pretty interesting actually,
Okay.
and just to see the people that have come around too.
Oh,
But
seriously.
yeah, so Chivas and went into preseason, didn't have a great preseason, and
Okay.
actually got released before the start of the season, and
Yeah.
then got picked up by Seattle in the middle of the year.
Okay, so but when you got picked up by Seattle, you're still in, that was MLS?
MLS.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
This
how
was
long?
before they had the USL stuff going.
Okay.
Well, like the MLS to USL.
Yeah. Because how old are you? 29 right now?
27.
27. Okay,
Yeah.
still young. Okay. Yeah. That's like, yeah, you're hitting the peak of your career now, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. All right. So how was that whole Chivas USA experience? How long was that?
I mean, it was like 3
months?
weeks.
Three
It
weeks.
was- yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't like you were there.
Like maybe a month. It was just preseason. So it was interesting. It was
Yeah.
first glimpse at like professional soccer.
Okay.
With some of the guys there, and obviously their coaching staff was all changed out, and they were going through their own stuff. But it was okay. I felt like me and some of the other guys that were drafted by them who also didn't really make it, but
Okay.
are still playing pro right now,
Yeah,
which is
kind of a testament, like,
kind of
yeah.
impressive actually. There's
Okay.
like 5 guys that didn't make it that are
Okay.
playing in the MLS right now.
That were all at that time for
pretty
Chivas.
much, yeah.
Okay.
So I feel like some of us didn't really get good
A
looks,
good
and
shot
so
at it, right? I mean, how much
we
can you
never
really
cracked.
prove in 3 weeks, though?
I
right?
mean, yeah, it depends just on the coaching staff if they
Mhm.
want to really give these young guys a chance.
Yeah.
And even now, I see it today. Some guys do get the shot, some
Mm-hmm.
guys don't. So it just depends on the coach and what they want to do or how they see their team already.
Yeah. All right, Seattle, how long were you with those guys?
So that was.
I say those guys because we're all about LA.
Yeah, exactly. That was just 6 months actually. It was just
Okay.
that 1 year from like July on.
Okay. And then you went to a couple other teams since then, right?
Then from there, I went to Wilmington Hammerheads in the USL. That was an interesting experience.
Yeah. Why do you say that?
Other side of the country, a very small club, going from like
Sure.
even
MLS.
Chivas
Yeah.
and all that,
MLS,
but
okay.
Seattle, who has a ton of resources,
Right.
great facilities, all that, to Wilmington, where we had one turf field, old bleachers. We had one room that was probably 20 by 15. That was our locker, our shower, our bathroom. our like training table.
So basically, that was like a rough time in your career, right?
Yeah, it was interesting.
It was depressing. You were depressed, right?
Nah, I mean,
you weren't depressed.
I was trying to make the most of it because for me, I thought I'd be back with Seattle, and they let me go.
Because it was a loan. Or
no, I was with them. They just
so they let you go.
Released me at the end of the year.
Released you, and then you are okay.
And so I just wanted to find the next place where I could kind of, if it wasn't going to be MLS, I had to take the step down. How can I boost myself back up? And so I was just trying to do that, and it actually worked out great, even considering, what Wilmington was as a franchise. But I went in, I played center back and also a little bit of center mid. I somehow led my team in scoring that year.
As a center back?
As both, yeah.
How many, center mid, center back. How many goals did you have that year, like roughly?
Like 7 or 8, something like that. We were close to making playoffs, but we didn't. But it was an interesting experience. It made me realize, where things could be or what some people have and how hard you got to work to get back to the level of what I wanted to be.
It's interesting because, first of all, how was the level disparity between USL and MLS?
At the time, there was a pretty big difference.
Pretty big difference.
Yeah.
Okay. And so when you obviously played against MLS competition, then when you went to Wilmington Hammerheads, were you just I mean, you did well, right? Because you're leading the team in scoring, right? But were you just you were just running over guys or what?
No, I mean, I felt like I was one of the best, if not the best player there, and I should show that. And I feel like I did for the most part. I mean, I'm a center back now. I feel like I'm technical enough, but to be able to play like center mid the whole season was kind of a testament to that.
Okay, so were you kind of shutting guys down from that position? Is that why? The guys are just handcuffed, they can't do anything?
I felt like I did a decent job. I mean, our team was all right. We had an interesting style of playing. There were some good players on the team. It was just tough conditions, and it was tough to be. I think they folded the next year, or 2 years later. So
they're not around.
It was just interesting, is the way I put it. And I'm glad I did it. I mean, everyone's got their own path, and I'm glad I went through that, and that helped make me to what I am right now, to be honest.
Okay, how did you get back to MLS then?
So after that good year, I was hoping something would come. And
you had an agent at the time?
Yeah, I think I was kind of with people who had an agency, and they were helping me do something. So then I decided to reach out to an agent to help me out. But I mean, I was just kind of trying to figure out. I could have maybe gone to some preseasons, but it was all up in the air. And Galaxy actually called and told me that they were going to start this, because this was before all the MLS affiliates. So they called and said they were going to start a Galaxy 2 program.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of, I got that, and they really wanted to bring me on, being a guy from LA, and they thought I'd just be a good fit, and the path to the Galaxy was there, so that was always something that was intriguing. But I was just choosing between that and taking another decent offer as far as money goes with the USL. But that was just too good of an offer to
So what year is this from the USL Wilmington?
Wilmington was 2013, so this is 2014.
Okay. And there's definitely a disparity in pay from USL to MLS, though, right?
Now there's much more, but at the time, I mean, I was actually doing all right.
And USL.
That's far for the USL, as far as that goes. But it's just a difference in what you get,
standards and all that.
Benefit, all that stuff.
Well, what about now that USL? Okay, so then when you made it to LA Galaxy, you were on LA Galaxy too.
Yes.
Okay, and you're still playing in, and using LA Galaxy's facilities and accommodations. So it must have been pretty I guess relief, right? Like a
little bit, yeah. It was like back to Seattle. Okay, this is where it's at. But
this
I had
is the standard that I need, right? This is my minimum standards.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But no, I just had a whole different mindset going into this one than Seattle, so it was good. And
did it make you hungrier or what?
Absolutely.
It did make you hungry.
Yeah. Because I knew, I could play for this USL team and I could do well there, but that's not where I want to be.
Right.
I want to be on that first team. I want to be.
I'm not playing that team bus thing. I need flights, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like once you've seen both, it's you can't go back to this. You want this.
Right. Yeah, it's like anything in life, right? Once you're used to a certain standard, right? I think it's like a comedian that does that, guys and girls. Once you hit a certain standard, you can never go back down. Right?
Absolutely.
I've heard that. Yeah.
It's tough. Girls dating, right? Standards. Yeah. All right. So LA Galaxy, did you was that like your home team when you were growing up?
Absolutely.
Yeah. They were. So you rooted for LA Galaxy.
I used to go to some games. Used to watch them in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
I don't even remember when I started. Looking back and seeing the whole since '96 thing they're going. I don't know when I started watching them, but I remember watching Kobe Jones, Kevin Hartman, all those guys. So.
You're following a pretty good, prestigious line here because we interviewed Kobe Jones too. He's on one of our earlier podcasts.
Yeah, I mean, I love just seeing him around, and he knows who I am. Which when I was probably 8, I would have never thought that. So.
Yeah, that's pretty dope, right? All right, so you guys just came off of. You want to start with the rough game that you guys had last night? You want to talk about the game, the highlight game that you guys.
We could start with the rough and then get better.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because like you guys, you're here the day after, right? You guys had a tough loss last night, right? Did you catch the game?
Yeah, I just saw highlights.
Yeah, I saw the highlights too.
Not great.
Man, it's like I don't know. Like, where should we start, man? It's just like, I don't want to go into like the game by game, but it's like, it's surprising how. MLS level, like I've never seen a team. I don't know. How do you get scored? How do they score so many goals at the end like that, right? And then I saw the Vela. You know what I mean? Oh, not the Vela. No, how do you take a loss after having such a good win from the beginning? You know what I mean? Like, what's the emotional?
That's part of MLS. It's not. It's not like these other leagues where some of these teams aren't the best and you should win every time. Yeah. Everyone's competitive, especially a Kansas City team like that. They're a good team.
Yeah.
And so usually you want to win your home games, and that's what we wanted to do. And we just didn't come out to start the game on the right foot. We eventually got into it and tried to come back, but just gave away some pretty soft goals and just didn't have the right attitude from the start.
Is the team expectations really high now, right now, like within the organization, or is it kind of still like, hey guys, we're taking it day by day kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, the game was crazy the week before, but we don't want to go, okay, we're the best team now and everything's solved. We just won that game by coming back 3 goals and winning it. But we know we got to build into it now, and we know what we can do. Yeah. It's just finding the right way to do it every week. And even if we go back to that game, we don't want to do that every. You don't want to be down 3 goals every week. So we got to figure out how to sort some of those things out. But we know we have quality. We know we're a team that should make the playoffs and make a good run this year. And it's a learning experience. It's game 5 on the season. So. Yeah. That's all you can really do at this point. It's not to beat yourself up over this one. It's one game, and we'll get back to it. So
okay. So let's go to the highlight, man, because that game was seriously like one of the best, most exciting games I've ever seen. Was that like the best game you've ever been a part of?
Yeah, probably.
Especially because you guys are on the winning side, right?
Yeah, a lot better on our side.
A lot of emotion.
I know, right? Okay, it must have been like crazy roller coaster ride, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was. We once again didn't have a good start. I mean, we kept the ball, but we made some bad passes, and they just took advantage of it. And I think that's what they were looking to do. And I mean, they had two pretty good goals by Vela to start, and so we're down. We're like, okay, we've got the 2 sides in the crowd going after each other. We don't want to let down our city, our fans, all this stuff. And here we are, we're down 2-0, 20-something minutes in.
Right.
So yeah, everyone's kind of down, but
how aware are you of the crowd during that game?
They were pretty loud.
Okay. So you can hear the LAFC section? They were just you can hear them?
Well, both. I mean, both. Our fans were amazing that day, too. So
you're playing, and then you can hear it. You're hyper aware of all the.
A little more than usual. I mean, for me personally, usually it kind of blocks out. Not intentionally, but it just, you're in the game. Okay. And, you'll hear it when you score a goal or something, or something crazy happens. But, this one you could really feel the energy the whole day.
It was different.
Even leading up to it, you could just feel the energy.
Were you nervous before the game, knowing that it was such a hyped up game for LA?
I was just excited.
Okay.
Yeah,
so when you go out there and you see all the the packed stadium, you don't get jitters?
I mean, I probably get jitters, but I've always tried to turn that. I don't know if I heard somewhere where excitement and nerves are kind of the same thing. It's just how you see it in your head.
Yeah. So you use it.
So I use whatever nerves I get, and I just say, okay, I'm excited for this. Then if I'm really feeling kind of jittery, I'm excited to play this game.
I always wondered how pros get that, because you know how when we play, right? Sometimes on some games you have good energy, and some energy level's high, some is low, right? I always wondered how pros can really. Do you guys slam a Red Bull before the game, or I've seen the guys would do the what's that they would take the
this sniffing salts,
sniffing salts.
I mean that helps, but it's just surface stuff at the end there. Everyone's got their own routine, and if you're not getting up for the games, then maybe you shouldn't be doing it, or maybe you should look at what you're doing, But I think every guy's got their own way of getting up for games, and then you have a game like that, and it's just it's really easy to get up for it. You know, no one needs to do anything. It's just right there. Like everyone's super, everyone's super excited. Hype, right? So, but yeah, I probably just have a routine of how I get mentally focused.
How has it been with like Zlatan being on the team now?
It's good. Yeah. I mean, he's brought a good energy. Okay. He's obviously a world-class player. So anytime you have that around you, it's awesome.
He's in everyday training now,
He's
right?
training, yeah. Okay. I mean, for the first game, he was there for a day, and so that was it. But he's been here all week. Okay. We're just trying to get used to how we can fit him in when he's fit and ready. But we've got our team still, and we still have to build around that. And he's just going to be an amazing piece to add when we can finally do it.
Okay. So he's attending all the practices now?
Yeah, he's in there with us. So.
And so, I mean, he's an offensive guy, and your defense. Are you matched up with him a lot?
Yeah, when we're training.
Okay, how is that, man? Dude, shut the guy down, man.
No, that's your job, right? Honestly, one of the most exciting things for me that he was coming here was I'm gonna not only have him on my team, which is cool, but that I'm gonna get to go against him every day in training.
You, right?
Yeah, it'll only elevate my game because now I get to see what a guy like that plays like, and hopefully, if I can defend him and learn how to defend him well, that'll make me defend other guys a little better.
Right.
So
I mean, obviously you don't want to like hurt each other in training, so there's a certain level you don't do, right? But you're going hard in training, right? You guys go hard in training?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, you're not trying to slide and take guys out because you need them for the weekend, but I mean.
And it's a daily competition too,
right?
It's
always a competition.
It's always a competition.
Everyone's
keep your
fighting
space.
for
Everyone's
jobs.
fighting, exactly, right? So you got to take it seriously.
Yeah, especially with our team. I mean, we've got a super deep team, so there's always guys ready to step in.
Okay. And how is he defending him? Is he just like a load? Like, how does he play?
Yeah, I mean, he's super technical and obviously has a good shot and all that. But he's not like, so he's like most guys like that would probably be smaller. Maybe a guy like me could physically dominate them, but obviously he's 6'5" or something. I mean, he's a big guy, so
monster.
I'm not necessarily going to physically dominate. So it's just picking up little things of how you got to defend him, and I'm not going to get it right the first time, or maybe I will, and maybe the next time he gets the best of me. So it's just picking up on little things, and to be honest, it's just stuff that's going to make me better in the game. So that's what I'm excited about. Obviously, he's going to bring a ton to our team. So.
Right. Have you had to defend somebody like him before, where he's like a physically imposing guy, but then also he's super technical?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah? Some guys that come to mind?
Drogba comes to mind. First one when he was with Montreal.
Okay. So you've gone against Drogba too.
Yeah.
Okay. How was that?
I mean, I've gone against a lot of guys that are pretty incredible to say I've gone against. But that was an experience too. I mean, they're all learning experiences. You kind of file them away in your head, and hopefully you don't just forget about it, because then the next time that situation comes along, you're able to take care of it. So it's always something that's going on.
All right. What did Drogba do that was kind of like different from, you know what I mean, that stood out?
It's that same sort of thing of pace and size and skill. So it's not like he's just a big thumping guy that's going to win headers. So you can't just run in on him and hope to get in the tackle, because if you miss or you don't get him all the way, he'll bounce off you and turn you. So
how was his speed?
Like
his speed was still there? His pace?
Yeah, he's still there.
Okay.
He still had it.
So,
I mean, when we played Montreal, they had a few other speedsters too, but he still got it.
How was that? Okay, tell us about the third goal in that game.
Yeah, that was, so the momentum was building.
From your perspective.
Yeah, the momentum was building already after Pontius scored his, and that's when you could like really feel the crowd. Like, it was incredible.
Okay.
And so we were down. We just said, okay, we're not gonna, like, after our third goal we let up, we're like, all right, we got like 40 or 30 something more minutes to play. We just gotta like get through this and keep plugging away and see what happens. And so we get one, we get another, and then obviously the crowd gets even more hyped when he gets subbed on.
Right.
But for me on the third goal, it was just a clearance. There was a ball up top, just trying to win the ball, head it. Yeah. I saw him and Ola were in that area, so just trying to put my head on it, and Ola went up and battled a guy off. Yeah. So that was actually pretty helpful. I was like, I probably would have just headed it away.
Did you? So that was the one you headed it, right?
Yeah.
And then that was the
assist.
That was the assist, right? Did you get an assist for that?
I did. Yeah.
You did. All right, sweet, man.
Luckily, no one else touched it, so I got the assist. I'll take MLS the points. Goal. Yeah, I'll take the points.
Yeah. So
but no, it was cool. So it just went up in the air, and I saw him go towards it, and like you could see he started kind of turning his body and looking up, and I was like, oh, okay.
This guy's gonna. So you could tell that he was gonna rip that one. Like he was gonna take a shot.
Like, he's gonna do this right now, and I didn't know if it was going to come off or not, whatever,
Yeah.
you know. It was just
Right.
like second day here. So,
Right.
but then you hit it and you see it going, and it was just, I mean, everyone was just ecstatic.
Yeah.
And you had to go run to the corner, celebrate. Right. Like it was, and the crowd just super loud. It was awesome.
At what point did you think, like, hey, man, like, we can turn this thing around, like, you know?
To be honest, I mean, the biggest turning point was when we scored that first goal.
Really?
Because
Okay.
the crowd, the LAFC
the boy Anthony?
crowd.
The boy Anthony? Is
Yeah.
it that's his Instagram handle, no?
Yeah.
Who?
Right?
The boy.
Yeah,
Du Bois, yeah. Yeah, Seba. Yeah, the crowd, the LAFC fans, they started like olaying in the crowd, and it was a little early in my opinion for that. Like they weren't really, like we were sitting in a little bit and they're knocking the ball and it was fine.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure everyone on our team heard that, and then when we jumped on a ball and turned it over and scored, like, you know, I think everyone had a little bit of anger in their head, like, all right, now it's time to, like, we can turn this around. We got one. That's all we wanted to do at halftime. We just wanted to get one.
Okay.
It was 2-0, so we just wanted to get one. We knew we could get back in it.
Yeah.
Obviously, we had the misfortune, but we got one, and that's kind of, okay, like, there's still plenty of time. We kind of got ourselves in this now. And then the second goal was the one for me where I was like, okay, this is our game now.
Yeah, we're
like
in
they
it.
had kind of fallen off a little bit. You could tell they were tired. And we had kind of stepped up our pressure. Our fans were more into it now. They had something finally to cheer about.
Yeah.
And that's for me when it all picked up. And then obviously you tie the game, and you're just really pumped about it. And you know, but you tie the game at that point, and you want to keep pressing, but you also have to be, at least for a defender, you have to be kind of smart, right? You know, you tie the game.
You can't be overexcited, right?
Yeah, if you're over
making runs and you're like, what are you doing, man? Like, stay in your spot, right?
I mean, you're all going, you know, a stupid goal. What was all that for? You know?
Yeah.
And I think they might have had a chance actually when it was 3-3. But yes, I mean, for me, it was the second goal. That's when we knew, okay, this could be our day. And obviously it turned into more than we thought it could be, but yeah, it was a good one.
I always wondered, like, when they're starting to do, like, the Olay chants, right? Like, I mean, I kind of understand what they're saying, but what is, you know, when you're on the field, what do you take that as? Like a diss?
Probably,
you know, like dissing the team?
I
Like,
mean,
you guys are
I
getting
might have heard it
played?
a couple times, like
Okay.
on our side,
Okay.
maybe a couple times against. It depends on how the game's. I mean, sometimes you're just sitting in, and it's okay if a team's passing around and the fans will cheer all day. It is what it is. But sometimes it gets to you, and I don't know if it got to us or what, but the way that it happened and the fact that it was that time that we picked off the ball and scored the goal, it was kind of that extra boost. If it was just a random regular time, they lumped a long ball, we won it, I don't think it would have done as much.
Gotcha. Who are the like the veterans on the team that kind of, you know, dictate, I guess, the team culture? Because I feel like every strong team, you know what I mean? Like they have strong guys, right? Personality wise, are there a couple guys that stand out?
Yeah, we got some veterans. I mean, as far as guys who have been on the team the longest, there's a few who have been here for a while, but not too many because we've been through a bunch of changes in the last few years.
Yeah.
But you know, you got a guy like Ashley Cole in your locker, so everyone looks up to him.
Okay.
You know, there's Baggio Husidic has been there for the longest, so he's been around for a while. People look up to that. And you got, you know, your guys like Gio and Roman. These guys have been all over the place and played, so you look up to those guys as well. But I mean, we brought in great guys this offseason that just were locker room guys too. You know, that everyone can get along with. You got like Perry, Chris Pontius, Servando Carrasco's been everywhere, David Bingham, all those guys. So it's good. Now we bring in Zlatan, and he's got a ton of experience and stuff to bounce off of. So the vibe in the locker is real good. Yeah.
I feel like the guys are really modest though. You know, like, you know, when I look at, like, you know how you're watching like NBA games, right? One of the biggest things that they always do is show the players arriving to the stadium and arriving in their, you know, suited up, or they're, you know, flashy, or cars, you know, like, who's like the flashiest guy on your team? Is there a guy that's rolling up in the car?
Seba's rolling.
Yeah.
He's got some
wheels?
He's got some flash to him.
Okay. Who's rolling up in the wheels?
Who's got the wheels?
Yeah, who's got the wheels?
Mike Ciani. He's
Okay,
got
what is he at?
McLaren.
Oh, are
He
you
drives
serious?
every day, yeah.
So he rolls up in the McLaren on game day?
Yeah, he's got a nice car.
Okay. See, that's what they need to like highlight before the pregame. You know, the pregame talk and all that is good, but right, that builds up to like the hype and the mystere of the game and the team. You know,
That's true.
Yeah.
I think the fans want to see that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say the NBA players on average are probably making a little bit more money than
For
us,
sure.
but
Yeah.
they probably have nicer cars because of that. But it's okay.
Okay. What are you rolling up in? Uber? You getting dropped off in an Uber?
Yeah, I should get dropped off in Uber. No, I got a nice sedan. I got an Acura.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Keeping it simple. I'm a simple guy. I'm not a flashy guy. So.
What do you dress up in for like game day? Just like jeans and shirt, or you know?
Yeah,
or do you get? Because you know the camera's on you now, right?
It's hot out here in LA, so if it's hot, I'm just wearing like a button-down short sleeve and some jeans. I got some nice shoes on usually, but simple stuff. I'm not.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe put a watch on and that's about it. Nothing crazy.
Is the the coaching staff, you know what I mean? Do they like tell you guys like certain things about game day attire and things like that, or no?
Yeah, I mean we got rules and they're not super strict, but it's
no flip flops and board shorts,
we want to be professional on game day. That's our day when we have. It's a special day for us, so they want us to be professional. They want us to wear something that makes us feel like it's a big day for us. So, I mean, that's basically the only rule. We don't want guys showing up in, like you said, flip-flops, shorts, and, just runners like every other day. So that's kind of the only thing.
Okay. Has it like ramped up though, like in terms of like the paparazzi before games and all that?
Oh yeah, of course.
It has.
Yeah, I mean trainings. There's a lot more out there from all different countries too.
Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. What about you on the personal side? You have like you're not married, right?
Not married, no.
Okay.
But I got a long-term girlfriend.
Girlfriend?
Yes.
Okay. And she's been with you for how long?
Since San Diego State days.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, she stuck by
did?
through all this.
She's
through
gone
Wilmington, through LA, through everything. Yeah.
Wow. All right. And what does she do?
Right now she's a spin instructor.
Okay.
So she's like a Soul Cycle type thing down in Newport. But she's going back to school right
Got
now.
it. So she has like an athletic background and appreciation too, it seems like.
Yeah, she played at San Diego State.
She did?
For a little bit.
Okay. Soccer as well?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's how you guys met? Through soccer?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So she's seen it all, huh?
Yeah. She likes this world.
She
that's
does.
good. It's good to have that,
Yeah, yeah. All right. So then, you've been here, you grew up here in LA, so you know the whole temptations and all that. Do you go out on the weekends or what? What do you do?
I mean, usually we're pretty focused on the games. Occasionally, if it's like a Saturday or something, we'll get out a little bit afterwards. But I mean, not too much, to be honest.
Pretty mellow.
It's pretty mellow, and I'll go to a bar if anything, and hang out with some people. But hopefully it's to celebrate something if we won a game or something like that. So
okay, nothing too crazy.
Nothing too crazy. I'm not a big club guy, so I know that's a big scene
partying,
out here,
getting all drunk like 2 nights before the game.
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
not happening now.
Yeah.
But I know there's a scene out here. I haven't gotten to be a part of it that much yet.
Okay. Okay, so what about the LAFC upcoming game and when you guys are going to be playing at LAFC Stadium? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, after that first one, I don't know how you couldn't be excited for it. And their new stadium looks pretty cool.
Okay.
I've seen it a few times coming up to LA here, and looks like it's going to be a nice stadium, so pretty excited about it. I think it's in like a couple months, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's
June or something like that.
No, I think is it in this month, right?
Yeah. It's opening up
April 29th
at the end of the month.
Oh, the stadium. Yeah, not our game. No, our game's
not your guys' game. Yeah. So you guys have a little bit of time to build up, right?
Yeah.
What's the prevailing kind of sentiment within the LA Galaxy organization in regards to the new club in town?
I mean, I don't know for like the marketing and the staff side, because that might be different. They might be doing something, but for us, I mean, we welcome it. It's just going to make LA more excited about soccer in general. We want to establish that this is our city, and it's been our city, and this is our, we're the team in this city, and they've done a good job like promoting it, and they've got the marketing going. They've done a good job. I think they just opened up their new training facilities, so they're doing all the right things, and it's just good. It's going to make LA soccer better, but we're we're still here to show that this is our city and that we're the dominant team. We've been the dominant team in Major League Soccer for so long, and that's what we're here still to do.
So you're gonna go in there and into their home, and you're gonna go for that takeaway and just.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going anywhere. We want to take something away from them. We want to win wherever we go, but especially there, that's going to be more of motivation. I'm sure they had that when they came to our stadium.
Oh
too.
yeah, for sure. Well, don't you think it's going to be? I mean, I think it's cool because you've been there from the very beginnings with Chivas USA. But what do you think you're going to be going through your mind when you're playing in LA, in another stadium, and like 90% of the fans are rooting against you? You know, that's going to be kind of interesting, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be like another away game, even though you're in your own city. But I mean, of course they'll be rooting against us. It'll be all their fans. I think we had a good amount of ours, and they had a good amount of theirs in our stadium. I'm sure we'll have a good amount of our fans in their stadium as well. So it'll be another good battle of like, you know, the crowd kind of chanting back and forth. But it'll be interesting. I mean, Chivas, when they're around, it wasn't really competitive.
It was not, right?
And so the games were kind of flat, and you know, there wasn't that excitement being built in the city. But they put out a good team. You know, they're doing well so far, and so obviously after that first game, it's even more competitive now. So I think that's just going to make it more of a rivalry.
Right. Yeah, because I think you've seen it's like come full circle, right? Because you've been there when it was rough. You know, soccer was rough for LA, right? And you don't really have a rivalry. And even though LA Galaxy is phenomenal, I felt like the sport and soccer, and obviously in the U.S. has grown tremendously. Like the culture and the
definitely.
supporters groups. You know, are you know, is there something that you would have imagined maybe like 5, 6, 7 years ago?
I mean, you could have seen it a
Wilmington,
little
when you
bit,
were in your 20 by 20 room and you're trying to, you know,
not out there, and that's why they're not here, unfortunately. But no, I mean, you could see little bits of it with like Seattle and Portland and stuff like that. When I was there, so you know, I was hoping it would get like that
all
over the place, and it's starting to. But it's nice to see it now in LA, where you know.
It's got to be depressing, right? When you go to one game, right, and you got 40,000 fans, and you go to another one, and like if you were in Chivas back then, they had to like close off sections of the stadium, right? Because it was under 10,000.
Whole like backside where our fans are. I mean, luckily for us, Galaxy's kind of always a draw wherever we go. Right. So we usually fill the stands, which is nice. So we're never playing in these empty stadiums you see sometimes. But I mean, back then, if you were to see some of those games, it was a little sad compared to what we have now, and that's just great. That's where soccer's come. Yeah,
it's come like crazy. Like back then, you'd be playing in football stadiums with the lines and all that, right?
I mean, we still have some of that. Hopefully we're trying to get away from it. Even in MLS a little bit. So there's a couple stadiums that are still
non-soccer
football
specific, right?
So it's tough to watch sometimes when you see it on the weekend. You're like, I can't believe we're still playing in these, but. You know, it's part of the business, and I'm sure a lot of these teams will figure it out once they get the chance to.
Okay, awesome. All right, what do we have to look forward to from you this season, man? Just like, what are you hyped up about? What are you trying to do? You're trying to establish your presence on the team, number one, right? For sure. You have some expectations and goals that you set for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I've got like general. I'm not sure I've got a number or anything of like games I need to start or goals I need to get or whatever it might be, but I've got a general expectation and goal that I put on myself, and I mean, first and foremost is just competing each day to win that spot and keep that spot as a center back. Like I said, there's competition across the whole team, so it's good. It makes the team better, but I want to be out there on the field. So for me, it's just trying to make sure I'm starting and contributing, and a goal for me is to be one of the best defenses in the league. So the least amount of goals given up, and if we can get close to that. Last year we didn't have a good year with that. The year before we did, so it's trying to find out how we can get back to that. So things like that are good goals for me. I'm always striving to be as good as I can and go as high as I can in the soccer world, so we'll see where that takes me. But I'm just trying to get better each time I get out there.
Yeah, we're super pumped, man. We've had the two center backs from each team now in LA, right? We got
Yeah.
Tristan Blackman here, right?
Okay.
And he's the center back over there. He's your counterpart. You know, he's a young guy like you, a little bit younger, right? Because he's what?
He's 21.
Yeah, he's 21. He's drafted this
Draft
year.
pick this year, yeah.
Yeah. So try to take it easy on him. When you guys go against the rookie,
Yeah, luckily, I mean,
No
unless it's like
mercy.
corners
Yeah.
or something,
No
I don't think I
mercy?
see him that often.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
that's all right.
Yeah. We're super excited. We're going to be at the tons of games for both LA Galaxy and LAFC, and we're super looking forward to
Yeah,
the
for people
derby,
in LA
man.
here, you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
have soccer almost every weekend once they
For
get their
sure.
stadium. I mean,
Yeah.
left and right, so
For
it's
sure.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
No,
Yeah.
not too bad at all. Yeah, we wish you the best of luck this season.
Thank
you.
you, thank you.
And appreciate you coming out here for today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Enjoyed
yeah,
it.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. With your little buddy that you grew up in high school with too, right? Going full circle,
Little
right?
by now.
All right. Thank you once again for joining us on the Urban Pitch Podcast, The Beautiful Game of Life.